Do you ever find yourself second guessing your intuition, your gut feeling, that inner knowing of what you're meant to be doing, what to step into, what not to do, or things like that? Or do you sometimes even wonder if you're even making the right decisions, the right choices? Perhaps you don't always trust your intuition, wondering if the guidance that you received is truly higher guidance, is soul guidance, or if you're just making things up. Maybe you're even then disregarding any guidance that you receive because you don't think it is actually true higher guidance, your intuition speaking. And learning how to recognize and also trust your intuition is going to be very important to help you really stay in soul alignment. Because when you follow your intuition will never steer you wrong. If you're feeling quite stuck in your life, not sure what to do, how to move forward, what direction to go into, what your soul is coming to do, or any of those things, or even just on a day-to-day basis, if you're often challenged in making the right kind of decision or wondering, am I making the right kind of decision? Learning to listening to your intuition and really tapping into your intuition is going to make your life so much more easier, so you can always be in alignment, stay in soul alignment, and do what your soul has come here to do in the most aligned and joyful way. And in this video, I want to share with you how to really recognize your intuition, how to develop your intuition, and also how to use your intuition to make those soul-inspired decisions, taking those soul-inspired actions and steps. Because your intuition is the most powerful gift that you could ever develop. Because your intuition, that means you're connecting to soul knowledge, to source wisdom, to even higher wisdom. Whenever you're tuning into your intuition, it will never steer you wrong. Because you have your intuition and then you have your ego. Your ego is always trying to keep you in limitation, trying to talk you out of things. It's usually very much stuck in limitation and doubt, fear, and things like that. Now, your intuition, on the other hand, will always keep you in alignment. Yes, most likely it will stretch you because it's often outside of your comfort zone of what you're feeling guided, what you're being intuitively guided or nudged to step into. But your intuition is really you're connecting with source, you're connecting with your soul, your higher self. And your intuition is what will then help you really make those soul aligned, soul inspired steps that will help you really stay in alignment with what your soul has come here to do, with what is to your highest and greatest good, and also give you the nudges of what is not to your highest and greatest good, what is not in alignment. Because you can go about your life in a very aligned way or in a very misaligned way. And when you're going about life in a very misaligned way, that's usually when challenges happen, when life feels so hard and you're trying so hard to move forward and nothing you do is getting you the results that you want, or you're getting peanuts in return. It's because you're listening to the ego side. You're listening to reasoning, the actions you think you should be taking, or even listening to other people outside of you of what you should or should not be doing. But when you're listening to your soul, your higher self, and you're tapping into your intuition, you're in alignment. That's when things flow. That's when things become easier. That's when life becomes easier. And you're then stepping into and going about life in the most aligned way. And I'm pretty sure, if you're here watching this, I'm pretty sure you've already dabbled with your intuition. You probably already have gotten those intuitive hits, the nudges, but maybe you're not always sure whatever I'm getting, is this really intuition, or is this just my ego having a little fun with me? How can I really recognize that? So let me share with you, how can you recognize, guidance from source, from soul, from your higher self, your intuition speaking, or if it's from your ego. Now, any guidance that you're receiving, you could receive it through a gut feeling, just like that inner knowing, or you may actually then see something that kind of gives you the confirmation, or it could just be some thoughts that pop in. But here, the way you can determine what is higher guidance and what is ego guidance is that guidance from soul, the intuitive hits, they're often quite expansive. Yes, they might scare you, they might stretch you, or they most likely will stretch you because it's kind of pushing you to step outside of your comfort zone, but it is never limiting. Okay, intuitive guidance, it feels right. There's that deep inner knowing, or that sense that, yes, this is right. You may not quite sure how you know this, but you just know that this is right. It also feels quite expansive. It feels easy. Intuitive guidance usually just pops in. It just comes about. You just know. or you just sense, or you just hear the guidance, or the thoughts just pop in your mind. It just flows. Ego guidance, on the other hand, that's usually a little forced. You have to think about that. And oftentimes the guidance that you receive from your ego is often limited based on fear, limitation, doubt, and things like that. So by recognizing when you're getting intuitive hits and when you're getting ego chatter is very important. Now, of course, you can always double check, is this guidance truly higher guidance or is this ego guidance, and wait for the response. So you can always double check on that, right? So you can confirm if whatever guidance you received was truly higher guidance, was your intuition speaking, or it was your ego talking. And you also want to practice strengthening your intuition, because the more you practice strengthening your intuition, the easier it will be for you to, whenever you do want guidance or need guidance, you can just tune in, you can connect with soul, you can connect with your higher self or even your team of guides. You can ask the guidance, you can receive the guidance. Right? So it's important that you practice developing your intuitive senses. And here I want to share with you a couple of ways that you can do that. For one, is just simply tuning in and connecting with your soul self, your higher self. And you can just simply do it like that. Tuning into your heart center. You want to get out of your head. You want to drop into your heart, tune into your heart, and you call forth your soul. You call forth your higher self. And you can say something as simple as, I now call forth my soul. I now call forth my higher self. Please step forward and connect with me now. If you want to connect with your guides, you can also ask your guides to connect with you as well, to make themselves known to you. You make that connection, right? And then you can, of course, also have a conversation with your soul self. You can ask specific questions. But tuning in on a day-to-day basis, really connecting with your soul self, your higher self, or your team of guides is going to be very beneficial, and also helps you strengthen your intuition as well. Because then you start to feel things, you're sensing things, you're maybe then becoming aware of things, or you're actually maybe hearing certain words, popping into your mind. Then another practice is automatic writing. This is an absolutely powerful practice that can also help you actually bypass your ego as well. Because when you're tuning in, then your mind can wander. But when you're using automatic writing, you're just writing down a question and you're just kind of channeling, you're writing. And you can write down anything that comes to mind, even if it's nonsense like, I really don't know what to write about, but I'm doing this practice because I want to tap into automatic writing because I have a question I would like to receive some guidance on it, but I really don't know what guidance I'm getting, and things like that. So you can ramble on at the beginning, but you want to keep coming back to the question that you have. So for example, a simple question could be, what is most important for me to know right now? Or what is most important for me to know about X, Y, and Z? And just keep coming back to that question. Keep putting your attention back onto that question as you're writing, even if you're just writing nonsense, until you then notice that all of a sudden you start to respond to the question. That's how it happened with me in the beginning. I wasn't even planning on doing automatic writing, but then as I was just writing and I was thinking about a question, all of a sudden I noticed that I started writing to me instead of just me writing in first person. And I also start writing in a different kind of dialect. Like I was speaking in a higher way that wasn't really my writing style, right? So that's how I actually started. And using automatic writing is a powerful way to also then strengthen your intuition, because then after a little while, after you made that connection, then you can just simply tune in, you write down your question and you just channel the answer. That is a great way to really tap into your intuition and then also develop your channeling abilities as well. Then meditation is also a great practice to strengthen your intuition, because you can then open yourself up. You can calm down your mind. You can tap into that inner stillness. You can also have that conversation with your higher self then as well, in that meditative state, because when you meditate, you calm down your ego. You're kind of putting your ego on a back burner, right? On a little timeout. So that then also can help you when you ask a question. Just like with automatic writing, you can ask a question and let your higher self or your soul or even your team of guides respond to you during meditation. And another way that you can really develop your intuition is pausing more often, because intuition flows when you tap into the inner stillness, when you're open and receptive to receive guidance. And by you making a habit of pausing more often, not always being constantly busy with doing, but taking a step back, like, okay, let me just open myself, let me just pause, let me just tune in. And that can also help you really develop your intuition more so, because then you have created that space, that opening to become aware of, well, what's really going on. You can then use that pause to then tune into something to receive that guidance as well. And the way you use your intuition to make those soul-inspired decisions, take those soul-inspired actions and steps, is you want to tune in. You want to quiet your mind. Then you want to put your attention onto whatever it is that you feel called to do, whatever you want to do. And then you just tune in and you ask the question, is this to my highest and greatest good if I were to do this right now? And then you wait for a yes and no answer. Or you can also ask, is this in alignment? Or what do I need to know about this? And then based on the response you get, then you can ask more. Okay, well, if this is not, let's say you're getting a no, this is not in alignment. Okay, well, what is in alignment? What are the best next steps for me to take? And you just tune in, you just really open yourself up to receiving the guidance. And also, if, let's say, something is happening in your life and all of a sudden you're feeling squeezed, you're feeling not okay, you can tune in to see, okay, is this even in alignment? Is this to my highest and greatest good? And here also, if not, then okay, well, what is? And here you always want to listen to the guidance. You ask the question, you open yourself up to then receiving the guidance, then you listen. Listen to the guidance. And then you want to trust the guidance. Trust whatever guidance you get. And let's say you're still not quite sure if it's really in your intuition talking or your ego talking, you can ask for confirmation. Is this of higher truth? Is this new thing that you're feeling called to step into, is this to my highest and greatest good? Is this guidance I just received of higher guidance? So you can double check. But then you want to trust the guidance. And here also pay attention. How did the guidance come in? Did it just pop in? Did it just flow like very easily? Or did you have to think about it? Was it more forceful? Then also, how did it feel? Does it feel expansive? Yes, it probably stretches you, but does it feel expansive? Like there's like an opening there. Maybe it has somewhat of a feeling that it is just right. You don't know why, but there's somewhat of a sense of that it is just right. Then that is a good sign that this is higher guidance. But if it feels constricted, if it feels very limited, if it brings up doubts and fears and things like that, and if it feels quite heavy, and if you have to think about it, that's usually then ego guidance. Here, of course, you can also double check, well, was this higher guidance? And here you most likely will get a no. That's how you can make those soul-inspired decisions and take those soul-inspired actions. The more you do that, the more you can really tap into your intuition and then follow that intuition, follow that soul guidance on how to go about your life, will help you stay in absolute soul alignment. And that's when things really become easier. If you're feeling stuck in your life right now, tune in. Find out why are you feeling stuck? What is out of alignment in your life right now? And then how can you get back into alignment? What is to your soul's highest and greatest good? And then act on that. The more you can listen to your intuition and tap into your intuition, the easier your life will become. Then you will experience more abundance, more freedom, more success, more happiness, more impact, whatever it is that you're looking for. You will experience more of that. The more you tune into your intuition and let your soul guide you every step of the way. And here I want to mention something to you, that if you're looking for more support on really developing your intuition, really living that soul-led life, that soul-aligned life, I want to invite you to consider joining me in my membership Transcendence, where I will assist you in really unlocking your own inner alchemist and going about life in the most aligned way. We're meeting weekly. We have weekly life coaching calls, monthly workshops. There's also an online course portion in there so you can learn a lot to really help you transcend into a higher way of being. And right now you can join Transcendence for free to try it out for 7 days to see if it is the right fit for you. So if that is of interest to you, the link is in the description below. I would be honored if you were to join me and all the other members inside Transcendence so we can support one another in really elevating our consciousness and really transcending into a higher way of being and really becoming our own soul alchemist. But here you go. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm curious to know from you, are you tapping more into your intuition? Are you developing your intuition? Has your intuition really helped you in your life already? I would love to know. Leave me a comment below. Let me know. While you're at it, maybe hit the like button. Maybe share this video with someone that you think could benefit from it. But I really just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to bring this video to you. Now also be sure to check out these two videos here. One is about daily practice to stay in spiritual alignment, and another one is a light language activation to align to your divine purpose. I think you're going to enjoy both of those. So thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, make an amazingly abundant and joyful day. Namaste.